Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cloud Experts Unleashed. I'm your host, Ryan Brown, and I have the privilege this week of talking to Marc Terrien from Thin Air Web. He is a recent customer of ours at xByte Cloud and has an amazing story about how we were able to help his company overcome some big obstacles with an existing hosting provider. So, Marc, thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be with you, Ryan.
So we were talking a few minutes ago about your whole the process that you went through and how amazingly fast it was. So for
Yes.
Thin Air Web, can you walk us through the timeline exactly? Like, when did you tell us that you needed something done, and when was it completed?
Well, it happened in multiple stages back in 2023. We were experiencing some issues with our previous hosting partner who we'd been with for 10 years or more. And one of our major clients, requires, virtual 100% uptime. So we had targeted moving that dedicated system over and had accomplished that over a period of a couple of months during the third quarter of 2023. The hosting company we were with was anticipating changing their platform, assured us that their IPs would transfer and it would be a seamless migration over a weekend and we wouldn't have to do a thing. And then late in the game, mid-October, they notified everyone that they didn't actually own their IPs. They would not be migrating, and we would have to chase down all of our clients and update IP addresses. So due to our great experience with xByte with the earlier migration in the third quarter, we just decided, since we were going to have to chase everyone down anyway, we would just wholesale move everything to xByte and spin up all of our new servers there and do the migration once and be on a new platform with xByte. And the partnership and the team that you guys have created there made that a fairly easy decision. And unfortunately, it was kind of late on a Wednesday evening, I believe, when we got notified that we were going to have to make some changes. So I shot a couple of quick emails out, got a response from Dakota, and by Thursday morning, we were connecting old servers to new servers, and literally by Friday afternoon, we had 3 new servers spun up. Most of the migrations server to server were done, and we could start migrating clients as soon as we had availability and account access. And that we took off on Monday because we literally had less than 20 days to the 1st of November to accomplish that full move. So without your team and their quick response, we would not have been able to do that.
Well, that's great to hear. And what's amazing about the story, I mean, what's very amazing is not that our part of it. Because yes, we responded fast, and within 48 hours, you guys were up and running, which is phenomenal to have that happen from first. But what you guys did after the fact, because you had hundreds of customers that you didn't control their DNS, and so you had to contact them to make the move. And we were talking earlier. So presented with this problem, what did you guys do to accomplish this?
Yeah. So. Yeah, interesting story. And we're like everybody else where you just kind of grow and you grow organically and you have data in various places and you hope to be really organized. But, the old saying where, the cobbler's kids have no shoes. We're a tech company. And, I wouldn't say we're archaic, but, we use QuickBooks Online and we manage our clients in various places and spreadsheets and do things like that. And we over years, we started our company in 2005 and acquired another company in 2007, another one in 2015, and another one in 2022. So we had client lists and systems in various places, and we knew that it was just going to be a mess. And we really had no way to manage new access to DNS. Did we have their client logins there and things like that? So we literally, our team threw together a quick client management system that allowed us to, we were doing API calls to pull back, where the hosting was, where their DNS was. And so we had everything in one place within about 3 days. and started down that migration and contacting everybody. And could we connect to our GoDaddy Pro account or our Network Solutions Pro account? And slowly we started to get all those things done. And literally by the end of the next week, we had a November 1st drop dead date, and we finished a week early by building some of our own tools and integrating all that and just working our tails off to contact
That's
clients
amazing.
who responded. And I think we ended up with a half a dozen, maybe at the most, out of close to 250 clients that were straggling through November. Our previous host left their servers running, so nobody actually went offline during that whole transition into the end of November. And we were able to keep up and get everybody tracked down and get everybody moved. But we could not have done it with that quick response and the solid foundation that xByte gave us. And that's where we are today.
And it's a great story. I mean, us doing the first part of it, and then you guys writing your own software to handle things and getting it done. Just an amazing story overall. Now, so for hosting, we handle that for you guys.
Yes.
I mean, and we do that for a lot of people, of course. What do we do beyond hosting? Is it just hosting that you rely on us for?
It's primarily hosting, but since we're a dedicated Cold Fusion shop and have been for 17, 18 years now, we really rely on the expertise and the brain trust that exists at xByte, and that Cold Fusion expertise is invaluable. And we couldn't run our business without the backup that you guys provide. And that's just as easy as an answer.
Yeah.
We couldn't do what we do without the Cold Fusion resources that you bring to bear.
Yeah, and that's a story we hear a lot. I mean, that's why people come to the xByte Cloud. Well, the Cold Fusion customers do, and in general, is because of the expertise that we bring. It's because it's not just hosting. I mean, a lot of people can do just hosting, but when you bring that expertise, that's the difference maker. And so you mentioned Cold Fusion, and this is something I ask a lot of people about, because there's stories out there like, oh, Cold Fusion, it's some old language, no one's using it, but you guys have been using it for 20 years.
Yes.
And apparently you love it, or you would have chosen a different direction. So can you talk to our audience for a second about the choice you made to kind of stick with Cold Fusion, or why you chose in the beginning and why you've stuck with it, and why you continue to base your company around it for custom development?
Great question, Ryan. So from a business perspective, we like sticky clients, and someone that isn't just kind of cruising by and needs web hosting at $11 a month, and how low can you go, right? We have clients that we've been working with for 10, 15, sometimes 18 years, right? And we love relationships and we love stickiness, and Cold Fusion clients are very sticky. And we love that about them. They want something interesting, unique, and we can provide that for them, and it's robust and well supported. We kind of came at Cold Fusion a little bit sideways. I'm not a developer. I'm a sales and business guy. So when we acquired Thin Air Web in 2007, it came with an existing portfolio of software and systems that were all architected on Cold Fusion going back to 1998. So we have foundations in Cold Fusion going back, what's that now, 27 years, and we still use some of that code, obviously updated, for security purposes and things like that. But we actually got into it just by acquisition, and it was all we knew. There was a content management system running nearly 100 websites that we still use today for various solutions. All of it architected on Cold Fusion. So as the original writer became less available shortly after our acquisition, we had to find some resources that could provide ongoing Cold Fusion programming. And we just figured it was a good place to be. There wasn't a lot of competition. Yes, the market's smaller, and everybody says, well, you can find a PHP coder on every street corner, but I've yet to find a good, reliable resource that is as bulletproof and reliable as our cold fusion solutions provide.
That's great to hear. Yeah, I talk to people, and a lot of times they talk about the rapid prototyping that they can do within the cold fusion space. It takes them a lot less time to do the coding, but it's also great to hear that it's bulletproof. That's an angle I don't often get, or people don't mention as much, I should say. But it's a strong point of how bulletproof it is, and how it doesn't. And as you upgrade versions, it's not going to break stuff.
Exactly. I mean, we have code that was written, like I said, back in 1998. I don't know what version of a layers cold fusion it would have been at that point, but it was two brothers that I believe started the whole shebang back in the 90s. So yeah, kudos to them. And the fact that cold fusion is tag based and very easy to understand, and very versatile. I think, again, not just prototyping, but the actual execution of being able to use tag-based resources, especially now that, and it's been over a decade now that Adobe has owned the cold fusion world, that we have a lot of resources that are tag-based that are baked into cold fusion, like PDF generation and things like that just come from that Adobe background that is now available within cold fusion. It just makes executing fast, clean, and elegant solutions that much easier.
Now, something interesting, and we didn't really talk about this before the show, but you had mentioned to me that you guys deal with some IDX solutions for real estate offices.
Yes.
And the new Cold Fusion 2025 has a lot of the CSV tools, so it can better read CSVs natively. So you're not having to write anything. So if you're dealing with anybody who needs to upload massive CSVs of house listings or something, then that's a potential of leveraging some of the new stuff in 2025.
Yeah, we'll be looking at that.
So great. Well, Marc, if anyone needs to reach you if they want to get something from Thin Air Web, how do they find you guys?
It's easy. We're on the internet at thinairweb.com.
Perfect. All right, everyone, if you need something, go check out Thin Air Web. Marc, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure and privilege. A privilege. To speak with you today. Exactly. Why not? All right, Marc, thank you very much. And everybody, cheers. Have a great day.
Thanks for the time, Ryan. Appreciate it.